Alright, attempt number 2, this time with the microphone actually turned on. Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are moving on to the grand finals from the Smite Divindades Supremas. I apologize to anyone who actually speaks Portuguese here, because I probably just horribly butchered that, but nevertheless, we are into the grand finals. We have We Love Bacon facing off today, or now, against Eternal Rally in a best-of-5 matchup. If we switch to the other bracket, this would in theory be updated. This actually means absolutely nothing because this is not the right bracket. Nevertheless, let's go back to the other big one here. There we go. We'll go with this for a couple minutes. For anyone who does not know or is just joining us, this tournament does decide who moves on to the Sao Paulo Comic-Con Arena of the Gods LAN tournament for Smite down in Brazil, fighting for 50,000 Brazilian real, which is roughly 15,000 US dollars. Yeah, I'm not sure the exchange rate, but thereabouts as well for euros, or if anyone is British, about 9,800 pounds or so. So the top four teams from this particular event qualify for seats in that. They're now fighting off for 30,000 gems worth of prizes. So, a decent amount there as well. Just pick up lots of skins, lots of voice packs, lots of all that fun stuff. But nevertheless, we're taking a look at these games today because it's a good opportunity just to see what some of these teams are doing, how they're playing, and all that sort of fun stuff. That also said, these are potential World Championship qualifier teams. Or qualifiers. World Championship Series teams. We might see one of these teams fighting off against the likes of SK Gaming, off against the likes of Aquila. Some of the US teams we've had to qualify, some of those Chinese or South American teams. Yes, South America and Brazil are separate regions. Each one of them gets one seat, one from Brazil, one from South America. So, some different routes to Worlds there that we don't yet know of. Only two confirmed teams right now for the Smite World Championship coming up in January. One of these teams, though, could potentially be one of those. That said and done, guys, let's go ahead and go to the in-game screen here, take a look at what these teams have picked, what they have banned. We have We Love Bacon facing off against Eternal Rally. We just saw Eternal Rally beat Phalanx in a 2-1 overall victory. Unfortunately, we were not able to see Game 1 as it did kind of bug out the replay about 5 minutes in. I know that from having kind of seen it live. That said, Eternal Rally, we're in the Red Trunks defending that Titan of Chaos. We do have Suzuki playing to Sylvanas once again, Schultzen on Scylla yet again, Yurei on the Nemesis once again, Arcanjo on Ram once again, and Stalker on Jean-Qui once again. If not for the fact that the names of the players up there on the left side of the screen are different, as I unfortunately hit my microphone, I apologize for that. I would almost assume this was this same game as last time. Ban-wise, Vulcan, Nuwa, and Cirquet banned out by them. Nuwa and Cirquet, I think we've seen banned all 3 games so far today. We saw them banned a bunch on Saturday. We saw them banned a whole lot in the EU regionals this weekend as well. Vulcan, I like seeing him banned out. I've been harping on this for weeks and weeks. I cast off for the EGL. Probably 90 to 95% of the games that there ends up being a Vulcan. 90 to 95% of those games, Vulcan is top damage, not just by a little bit, by like a lot. It's like you have top damage guys here, some Hunter doing crazy damage, and then you have like Vulcan up here. It's insane, it's crazy. Glad to see him getting banned out. For We Love Bacon, we're in the Blue Trunks, left side of your spectator UI, defending that Titan of Order. We have some names that I'm going to be screwing up a little bit more. We have Keck, which is what I'm going with on the jungle, AD carry Hunter role Freya, Aimless in the mid lane as Agni, Oritrol in the solo lane as Chak, Nan in the jungle as Thor, and Pyberer as the support Geb. We had some pretty easy names prior to now. This isn't as bad as Europe, where you have like Danish and Finnish teams with just like 26 consonants, and you're supposed to try and pronounce this, and there's no vowels inside, and you're just like, the first letter of your name is W. You are now W guy. Anyway, that said, they also banned out Vamana, Apollo, and Yanis. We saw Yanis getting played by Phalanx team last time around. I'm not entirely sure if that was a targeted ban. I don't think we've seen Eternal Rally pick them up. No, we only saw Yanis once, so no, we didn't see Eternal Rally pick them up. Vamana, a bit of an interesting one. We haven't seen him banned out either. And Apollo, not terribly different from what we see in North America or Europe either. It's kind of a top pick kind of god, or hunter, so to speak. That's done, guys. Let's go ahead and get this game rolling. We'll speed this up slightly, as I kind of should. You don't want to know what happens when I cross the beach. Should kind of done this a little bit, the team introductions, while this was rolling. So speed this up a little bit as they kind of roam around the jungle, and we'll slow things down if they come near each other. We'll go back to normal time as the game progresses, though. Taking a look at starting items, though, something does stand out. It looks like Oritrol has gone for a heavy hammer start. This was kind of the meta for a little while, various people picking that one up. looking to get some early game aggression, possibly kills in as well. That said, it was nerfed to an extent in the amount of costs. It was bumped up to 1350. As when it was 1150, you could grab Hand of the Gods, grab a couple potions, and grab Heavy Hammer as well. It also, or now that it's 1350, that means you can grab it, but no potions. So you can still look for some early aggression, but it's not a, yeah, it's a great item overall, why wouldn't I take this and slow my opponent down and kill them horribly? There were some pretty disgusting things, like a support Ninja, for example, was pretty nasty. But it looks like as the camps have finally spawned, we see them getting cleared up. Oh, this is pretty standard. It's like 3 men on the right side Harpy camp. Well, no, it's not unusual on the slightest side. What are you talking about? I don't know. It looks like fairly typical starts once again. The early game's a little bit different. On EU, we've been seeing a lot of early game invasions on speed buffs, on damage buffs. Aimless actually looking for some good damage on Schultzen early. Found a flame wave to the face. Did a little bit. Going to more likely than not force a potion out here shortly, if Schultzen actually has them. Yes, she does have 1 health potion in hand. She's got to be careful going forward. If Aimless looks to continue aggressing, that could turn out badly. Solo lane that looks like non-rotating over. Does he have a point in Tectonic Rift? No, he doesn't. No real hard gank lockdown. Majolan's gonna miss. Not gonna find a single hit on that one. Doesn't help you much in the way of damage. And this is the one early Brazil thing that's kind of unusual. They go for these damage buffs pretty early. Typically, right now, you'd see the red team possibly looking to steal away the attack speed buff or something like that. But they'll go for these damage buffs, pick that up for the mid laner, as well as then going for the back Harpy camp, splitting that experience as well. That's a little bit more unusual. North America, Europe, sometimes you see them kind of just, you leave the damage buff on the floor, you don't, this is more casual and league play more. You see them leave it on the ground, just like how you pick this up and run away. Team play, getting that gold divide between multiple people increases your overall efficiency, it helps in the long run. You get less as a single player, not so much for the jungler. The jungler still gets the 100% gold, a little less experience. Pibier does get caught in Nature's Grasp, less left lane though, finding some good damage, 1 or 2 more hits will find the kill. Astral arrows are out, the quiver is empty, not going to find that last hit through everything to find the kill. Pibier going to be able to get out of that one alive. He still has potions in hand, he's going to heal up reasonably quickly and can stick around in lane for the time being. But he has to be careful going forward. Another grab connects. He could very well end up being the first blood. So, yeah, overall, no one's gone back to base yet. Thor has picked up his attack speed buff. That's going to be in hand. He's a happy Thor right now. Nothing worse than getting your attack speed buff stolen away. Yeah, losing the attack speed sucks. The big thing is the movement speed. Schultzen is... the Sentinel does have a point in it. I've seen some odd... Tectonic Rift did connect her. We're going to go back. I've seen some odd, crazy things and some reasonably high-level play. I saw Hercules the other day not putting a single point in mitigate wounds until level 14. It's like, I can't max anything else, so I have to put it there, or save points for no reason. And essentially, he sat in lane 90% of the game at like half health with a full bar of mana and absolutely nothing to use it on. And it's like, yeah, if you put 1 single point in mitigate wounds, you would be a lot healthier, and you would probably not have died those 1 or 2 times previously. It's like, good to see that stuff in there. Especially with like the Thor. Level 5 comes around, End of Dawn's online. You can't keep tabs on the Thor at this point in the game. Wards are more or less dropped off at the 3-minute mark. Sometimes you get support, he goes with the multi-pot starts, or things like that. Gets then a late warp that's usually used defensively on the duo lane. That's Stalker actually rotating around. I was looking to possibly contest those right side Harpies. Got there just a little bit too late. Those are going to fall to Relive Bacon. Mid Harpy is going 1 for 1 right now. Aimless using that Rainfire, getting a little damage on the wave. Flame Wave likely to come out here potentially, or a Shockwave from Gab, clearing that out. It was a wave of some sort. Flames, shocks. He gets the job done at the end of the day. So all said and done, looking at Freya, she does have the... I can't think of the name of the... I'm going to cheat again, Ancient Blade Online. Curious if she goes for the Hasten Fatalis Rush, or perhaps looks to build it up into a Witchblade. As the 80 carry Hunter roll Freya, both actually work reasonably well. The Witchblade slows the offensive power of your opposing team, opposing gods nearby, as well as lowering their physical power, so they do less damage, and they do damage more slowly. It also gives you physical protection, which means Ra will be doing even less damage because of that. You don't necessarily get more powerful, but you are then ahead of your opponent, so to speak, just because they do less to you, so in a 1-for-1 trade, you are coming out ahead. That said, the Hasten Fatalis, especially against Rom is reasonably mobile. With the rolling assault, he can look to get out, disengage from a fight, and the likes of that. Ooh, Nature's not going to connect. As Kanjo was in the back backing anyway, so might not have been seeing a ton coming out of that regardless. So all said and done, guys. Actually, I'm going back to Freya talk. The Hasten Fatalis will allow Freya to potentially close in a gap, apply slows using Pulse a little more quickly, that it will be a Hasten Fatalis getting picked up. If she can manage to slow down, get into melee range potentially, she could look to possibly pop a Radiate then, and kind of double up, keep close in melee range, juke around, dodge some attacks close range. But if there's no minions nearby, she can also use Pulse and Radiate at the same time, get ranged attacks essentially, and just duke it out as if she was a normal hunter. So both work reasonably well. And with the Hasten Fatalis, the lack of combat speed debuff allows you to stave in, dodge more dodge auto attacks from your opponent a little bit more easily. Schultzen did almost get caught on the mid lane, was able to use a Sentinel under that Tectonic Rift to get away. Schultzen gonna take a Thunder Strike the right lane. Both of these guys have a decent amount of healing in lane, and even with the heavy hammer on line, Shock has a Talisman now, he's gonna be reasonably tanky. Unless someone really screws up, or if someone comes around and helps and ganks for them. I don't really see either of these guys dying anytime soon. So we'll let these guys kind of solo lane island up over there in the right lane, while everyone else kind of aggressive teleporting forward with Thunder Strike, Torrent combo to wave clear. It's like flip the camera away and it's like, oh my god, he's going in! No, he is not excited. Stop getting so excited over nothing. So it looks like overall, it will be a bit of a slower game once again. We're approaching 6 minutes, 20 seconds into this game. Still no first blood, second set of Harpies coming up. We Love Bacon taking the left side. And it looks like Yuri picked up the right side for Eternal Rally. Overall, slight advantage there to We Love Bacon, as they did share the experience off those left Harpies. Getting that little bit of extra efficiency out of them helps in the long run, but not a huge victory at the end of the day. Some other little items, possible aggression from Commander Kek. He could look for Kilntar Kanjo. Rolling Assault, Astral Barrage, and the like are still all online, as is Valkyrie's Discretion. Reinforcements possibly rotating in. It's a 4-man grouping now heading over there. They're looking for blood onto Freya right now. But it looks like they are aware of this, have been spotted out. Some nice deep ward placement by We Love Bacon. That backside of the jungle on the side of Eternal Rally warded up pretty heavily. They saw that coming in, not catching that Freya out, guys. It's going to take the damage buff. Not going to take some back Harpies as they are still respawning. Just a little consolation prize there in the damage buff, so to speak. It looks like we will see Stalker once again going for that Warlock Sash, looking to build up those stacks, get some extra health on the table, let him stay alive a little bit more in those team fights. Left lane, Arkanjo possibly coming out. Anvil Dawn does come down in the back of a Shockwave, but the Berserker Barrage from Nan going to be picking that one up. Gold Fury potentially on the table here right now. Mid lane, actually, Aimless finding a kill into Schultzen. Missed that one, was trying to see where these guys were going. And there's solo lane islanding in the right lane. Go figure, who would have thought? So, Javier, these names are going to change over the course of this cast. I do apologize, guys. His name is one of those names. Pybearer. We'll go with that for now. Freya finding a banish onto Sylvanas. He's just going to turn about and run away from that one. So overall, again, guys, a bit of a slower game. I'm not sure if these are just these teams, just the way the game is playing out, or, you know, I'm not entirely familiar with the Brazilian meta too much. So I don't know how much standard play is actually. Archol forcing the Recall Demon's right lane. He's going to get forced off of that one, but that will be on cooldown for a decent amount of time, a minute and a half. Archol could look for more action. Oh, there's a 4-man rotation now coming over to this right lane. Stalker needs to get out of there. Rainfire stun coming. Going to connect. Shockwave on the tower. Aimless going to pick that one up with, I believe, a Flame Wave. They could potentially look for a tower. There we go, let's fix the mini-map. We have buff icons, we have minions and all that fun stuff. I was trying to figure out why I couldn't see minions anywhere on the map. There we go. Gold Fury getting started up now by Eternal Rally, 4-man rotation, responding to that well. They are aware, but Keck has rotated on the back. They are rotating over. Eternal Rally will pick this one up for free for the most part. Question is, will they get out? Pavi are going to find this Cataclysm onto Suzuki. Thor is there. Berserker Barrage coming out. Nah, I'm going to pick that one up. Right up in the Valkyrie Discretion, throwing some damage. Aimless could find a kill here. I'm a monster out from Schultz, and I hear an Anvil of Dawn going up, guys. They will come down. Not going to find Schultz, and they go look for the kill. Sikkim will connect. Stone Shield going to block a bunch of damage on the back of him. 1v1 in the back now by Nan into Yuri. Nan going to be looking to get out of this one alive. Geb rotating around as well as Agni. Nice stun combo coming at him. Gonna get down out of that one safely. We Love Bacon currently up 5-0, but they are behind that Gold Fury. If we take a look over at the Golden XP graph, overall, with that Gold Fury and those couple kills, Wheel of Bacon put themselves just narrowly ahead, wave to wave, or about 100 gold ahead for Wheel of Bacon, 3,000 or so experience for them as well. So they found themselves a little tiny early game lead. Stalker needs to be careful in that solo lane. Whereas another little push could end that right lane tower's life. If when that happens, Urtrol will then have the freedom to kind of rotate around as he pleases to an extent, but he can group up with some other people out. Kind of the solo lane towers falling tends to signify the end of the laning phase. Even that earlier game we saw, the game 2 from the lower bracket finals, even though the mid lane a mid lane tower down as well as a left lane tower down. It's like teams are still just farming out. You know, the solo laner is still doing solo lane island. They're not really rotating over. But once those solo lane towers fell, that was like it. Okay, laning phase is over. We're in mid game. We're in late game by that point because it took forever. But after that happened, everyone just kind of started rotating. Team fights came about. So if Overtroll can find that, Wheel of Bacon could certainly look to become more aggressive, look for more picks and all those fun things. They have Thor as well. The initiation potential coming out from them is huge. Non going into that telltale position for the Anvil of Dawn, but he's not going to go for it. Thors love to go into the Fire Giant pit, into the Gold Fury pit as well. Look for the Anvil of Dawn, not going to do some run. They're going to find Stalker. Tectonic Rift has not been used yet, still off cooldown. He could look to block him out from the tower. Not going to need it though. Urtrol with a Torrent combo, gonna pick up that kill. Minion waves resetting to neutral as Yuri is rotating over as well. Ping's coming out over there, possibly telling her to be careful. Just that we can go for a kill over there. Yuri will have some decent damage on slicing that could look to kill that minion wave quickly, as it looks like Wheel of Bacon just going to go for their mana buff for the time being. Solo lane, a little bit of fighting coming out, but it looks like it was just for wave clear purposes. As Banish does connect on the Conjo, Rolling Assault going to come out immediately afterwards. Of course, Shockwave going to miss as a root actually connects on the Keck on the back of his auto attacks. That random number chance off his passive every time. Is it random number or the time base these days? I don't know. Either way, occasionally when you hit Sylvanas, you will get rooted as we see the root grass combo connect. Cataclysm coming in right now from not Suzuki, Wrath of Terra. He is low though, he has no way to escape right now. He's looking to get out, Banish onto Arcanjo. Gonna shift the focus, Astral Barrage goes up, looking for damage from Suzuki as Astral Barrage comes down to Keck. Stone Shield gonna block all of it though. Looks like Scylla wants to rotate over, has to be careful, as Agni is nearby to potentially stop that particular rotation, so they gotta watch out for that as well. Is my mouse showing on the screen, or is that just a respawn? Never mind. Nevertheless, worrying about production issues when I should not be for once. So all said and done, taking a look at the items these gods are building up, it looks like Freya's working towards her Boots of the Magi, possibly Boots of the Focus. Ooh, Nature's Grip does connect. Heck, gonna find a Banish onto Arcanjo. She's gotta be careful. Valkyrie's Discretion is available. Not gonna use it. Arcanjo's gonna pick up that kill. Ultimate did come out somewhere. I felt the little replay call. She might have tried to use Valkyrie's Discretion. It triggered the slowdown, but did not actually get to use it in time. Didn't go on cooldown, nevertheless, so that's good going forward. Maybe it was Cataclysm? That's off cooldown too. I would swear I felt the ultimate slowdown thing come into play, but maybe not. Taking a look at these items. Emerald Talisman online for Chalk, helping out deal with that magic damage coming out of Zhang Kui. Almost 50% of the way to stacking the Warlock Sash for Zhang Kui, though. Once those get up, he'll be pretty decently, or a decent amount tankier than he would be otherwise, compared to, say, an Ethereal Staff, which, thanks to Bloodwrath earlier, I now know the name of again. Yay. Ethereal Staff is an interesting trade-off. It's upfront damage, but in the end, Warlock Sash ends up being a little bit better overall. For the most part, like on a Guardian Ethereal Staff, the passive tends to be pretty nice overall, because you tend to have other items with health as well. All said and done though, guys, looking at other stuff, Agni has built up a Bancroft's Talisman, looking for a nice bit of extra damage, as well as lifesteal coming off of that, helping him on lane. Keck on the right side, Astral Barrage from Rom coming down. Valkyrie's Discretion can't kill you while you're up in that. So Arcanjo's just going to have to sit on those last couple shots, could perhaps look for some quick minion shots, but Keck's going to be up in the air for the duration of that, as very slowly that slowdown does wear off. Yuri gets caught by the Anvil of Dawn. He does pick it up with the Berserker Barrage. Suzuki now looking for the kill onto Keck. Stone Shield coming out from Geb, gonna save him for the time being. Suzuki now running low on health, forced to run away. Non low as well. Rolling Assault forward aggressively from Arcanjo, finds the kill into Non. Rainfire coming down as well. Doesn't find the stun. Aimless finds the kill into Arcanjo now. I'm a monster, narrowly gonna miss. Just gonna eat a couple of those minions up. As Keck will live to fight another day. That said, they're looking for some more aggression. Aimless has abilities coming off cooldown, does find the stun combo as well as a flame wave. Javier now looking to beat him up a little bit. Shockwave actually mission due to the Banish, but Keck with a couple more auto attacks will find that kill. Overall, 1 for 3 in that left lane, going the way of We Love Bacon. They extend their lead. Gold Fury is up, and it looks like they're going to rotate over and start that up. Okay, that was just the word being placed. Like, oh, and they're not doing that. They're going for mid lane. No, they did go for it. Junkweed coming around. He does have Recall Demons. There it goes. The Demon Bag has been opened up. And the Divine Judgment not available because Yuri is on his team as well. Stalker is low in the middle. 4-man. He will not find a kill. Recall Demons is down. Oh, he does actually. One last tick onto Keck in the back. Did find it, but Oritrol immediately answering with the kill onto Stalker. 1 for 1 so far in that rotation by him, as it looks like they will finally disengage. Going 1 for 1 and delaying that Gold Fury. Probably quite good in their book right now, especially when you're behind. You do not want to be giving away Gold Furies when you don't have to be. Anvil Dawn going up from Thor right now. Are they go? Yeah, there is a Gold Fury in progress. I almost missed that one. Eternal Rally picking up in the end of the day, but 2 kills now being answered by We Love Bacon. Was a kill onto Sylvanas as well as Yuri, so that's a dead nemesis for the time being. They could... I'm not going to say they could anything, because as I've touched on already before, if I say they're going to try and do something, it's just not going to happen, because that's what they like to do. Torin coming from Overtroll, going to use the Sentinel to get back to the safety of the tower. As overall, there's a lot of wards coming in. No, I don't want to go over their camera. Stop doing that. Schultzen is low. Thunderstrike going to connect from Overtroll, it looked like there. I'm a Monster, not going to save you. Asher Barrage coming down, looking for the kill in the back onto Aimless, not going to be enough. We Love Bacon answer that Gold Fury with the tower. Overall, Gold going just slightly back towards the favor of Eternal Rally. Probably about over 50 gold or so pick up going to Eternal Rally. Experience, though, currently 7,500 experience in favor of We Love Bacon. Looking level to level. Mid lane, Scylla is behind 4 levels. Shock is up a level over Zhang Kui. Thor is up 3 levels over Nemesis. So some pretty big level differences starting to come out on the side of We Love Bacon. Yeah, getting gold, a lot of gold, getting a lot of items helps. You cannot discount the level scaling on abilities, though. It adds up over time. Yes, people tend to rank up their ultimate and their primary damage ability first. But the secondary damage abilities, utility abilities as well, like on Thor, yeah, Tectonic Rift is great. Yeah, you might not necessarily max that first because you just want it for the main stun. But increasing it 50% from a 1-second stun to a 1.5-second stun, potentially on multiple people, is pretty significant in a team fight. So it's nothing to scoff at getting some extra points in that early. Also, fun fact, as DM kindly pointed out on the thing Saturday that I did not know, or Sunday possibly, you need 2 points in Tectonic Rift to guarantee a second hit on Visual Attunement if they don't use beads. It's like good little information like that is good to know. So it's like, well, normally you stick a point in Tectonic Rift, ignore it till later. Maybe you want to put a second point in it early, so you can guarantee the backswing on someone you're trying to gank if they don't have beads. It's like, you do less damage on the first hit, but the second hit that you guarantee, it's more guaranteed damage overall. Things like that sometimes, like the extra, when you delve into the numbers of how all these things work out, that are good to know. So sharing the knowledge, because in theory a bunch of people will be seeing this video on the Smite game, although they will of course heard it straight from DM on the Smite game and then Smite VOD. They will in theory have seen it from the original EU regional thing over the weekend. Nevertheless, taking a look at what some of these guys are building as items as soon as I take a sip of water. So, Sovereignties are online, actually. No, Aimless getting caught out in the midline. Divine Judgment coming out as well. He's low. Gonna use Aegis. No one really around to help him. Oh, actually, Path of Flame's out in time. The Anvil of Dawn coming down as well. That wasn't quite the right guy there, Thor. He was your ally. Arcangelo, though, does pick up the kill onto Aimless. Is with the Major's Tomb. Double tap finds Yura in the back. For now, what's actually, I'm a Monster. Just gonna almost pick up some minions. They managed to survive that. Overtroll now looking for some damage onto Suzuki as the Thunderstrike connects on the Stalker in the back. Overall, 1 for 1. Not really going in favor of anyone, though a 1-for-1 trade generally will go in favor ever so slightly of the team with more money, as the gold you get per kill is based on the total accumulated gold of the person you kill. So if you're ahead and have more gold, you are worth more. So in that case, since Eternal Rally is behind, they came out ahead overall. Jungler for mid laner, though, and a little bit of an outrade. That said, Recall Demons and Wrath of Terror coming out on this right side of jungle. Stalker is low. He's running around, holding that W down with some other letters getting mixed in, looking for some damage. Recall Demons down, though. He's going to look to back off of that one. Doesn't want to get too close. Thunderstruck across the wall. Gonna find some damage. No Torrent to follow it up, looking for that kill. Wartroll gets caught with the Sikkim. Crush coming down as well. One more on attack from Schultz, and we'll pick that one up. On that fight, though, Eternal Rally coming out 1 for nothing. That's a definite victory in their favor. Flipping over to that dual lane. Hunters and the hunter role, Freya, still kind of just doing the wave clear thing, farming up for a little while. Imagine here in a bit, they might start to look a little more towards joining up their teams, getting into these team fights a little bit more. It's a bit of a rough one going forward. Oh, actually, Banish connects. Freya could look for some serious aggression here. Rolling Assault does come out. Pulse is popped. It's currently not applying the AoE. There's the... Okay, the AoE effect is not related to slow side, and it's one of these things. The Pulse is nice for the ability to fire through minions. They try to juke behind minions, having the AoE, you hit them, and even though they're body block, or the minions are body blocking the shots for them. Occasionally, if you double stack the Pulse and the Radiate when they go behind minions, it's like, well, I can hit the minions, but I can't hit them, and then when my cooldowns run out, I can't look to continue aggressing because, well, they can keep firing from long bits away, and I have to wait on my cooldowns to come back up. Little things like that you have to kind of keep in mind, be aware of when you go to pop both to look to be aggressive. It's like the minions right behind them, and I just screwed myself over. Other than that, try and touch on these items before something happens. Like, okay, looking at the minimap, everyone seems to be reasonably far from each other. No one is running straight towards anyone else. So without further ado, items. Book of Thoth completed on Scylla. She does have the... I'm shooting again. Enchanted Trinket built up. We could potentially see another Polynomicon Scylla. We did actually get around to touching on that eventually. Like, took 10 minutes, but we got there last game. If she properly weaves the procs into her combo, she'll do a lot more damage overall, but it will be less upfront burst potential, as if she had gone, say, with a... There's no real healing coming out on the side. Yeah, Divine Room would help a little bit with shock and all of the lifesteal coming out as well. Freya has inbuilt lifesteal on her passive, the Amulet of something, or other. Passives. Who needs to know the names of them? So, she might look for that, or Polynomicon could look for a Divine Ruin. I don't really think Pythagorean's piece it. Scylla has become a thing down in Brazil. We saw it a bit on Freya's, all said and done, coming out of EU, I believe it was. Working pretty well, especially if you have multiple mages on the team. Agni sure wouldn't dislike a bit of extra lifesteal or magical power off of an ally's aura effect on an item. Otherwise, items, Spear of the Magus online for Agni, going to be debuffing the magical protections of enemies he hits when his passive is up, or anyone who stands in those path of flames will get debuffed as well. Shifter Shield on Thor, Jotun's Wrath fairly typical there as well. Stacks fully built up for Ram and his Devourer's Gauntlets. Freya doesn't have Devourer's Gauntlets online or anything like that because she is a 80 carry. Freya, Hunter, thing, words, possibly. She has gone for the Demonic Grip. She'll be debuffing the magical protections of her opponents every time she hits them, as well as getting a nice bit of magical power as well as attack speed out of that one. But everything else, pretty much fairly typical stuff. We do have Sylvanas building towards possibly a Pestilence or a Bulwark of Hope, rather than, I think, what we tend to see a little more on EU and NA is the Emerald Talisman pickups. Unless there's a couple healers, we tend to see a lot of Ra's, the occasional... Well, Aphrodite kind of fell off. A lot of Ra's usually. If there's a Ra, you'll usually see Pestilence come out. You generally won't see the Bulwark of Hopes unless it's like a real late item as a second magical protection item out of the Talisman. But it looks like both teams grouping up, possibly looking to contest these mid-Harpies here. We're going to preemptively pull up this team fight UI so I don't forget. It looks like a Banished coming out into Arkanjo. They're going to look to... Possibly? No, maybe not. Going to chill around. We have the left side Harpy dance coming out here, guys. Typically don't see this. It looks like they're going to go ahead and pick that up. Going the way of Eternal Rally. As now both teams possibly rotating on the right side Harpies are already down. And we can put away that team fight UI. Go back to the regular UI. Take a quick look over at the gold and experience differences. Experience down. We just sort of Divine Judgment. Onto Thor. Magellan's team already used. Swift Judgment got Vengeance, excuse me, from Yuri. Gonna get him in range, but it's gonna be forced to back off when that Stone Shield from Pabiar popped up onto him. Let's try this again. Golden experience graph. Gold is dead even right now, as shenanigans possibly coming out on the left side jungle now. We're gonna go through this. 5,400 experience going the way of We Love Bacon. So the level difference actually decreasing slightly as you get later on in the game as well. Some gods start hitting level 20. We see Agni at level 20, so some of that experience is not going to be real experience, so to speak. If you're level 20, experience does nothing for you. Charlton taking a lot of damage. One more Rainfire from Amos, going to be picking that one up. And also, later in the game, the levels take more experience to level up between them, so when the difference actually decreases, you have to close the gap up a little bit. The Jones coming out of none, going up to Anvil Dawn. Nemesis not going to be able to find that kill in time. The question will be, no, Yuri will not let Pabiar going to pick that up. Will not look to be aggressive with that Anvil Dawn. Use it defensively, just go back, get perhaps some camps in the back. Yes, he will. Polynomicon was picked up on Scylla. Yay for that. A little bit of a different item pickup from what... Well, we never see Polynomicon picked up, to be perfectly honest, in North America anymore, or Europe for that matter. So it looks like Gold Fury has come out. Recall Demons from Stalker. Gold Fury is almost at the threshold, 40% right now. Agni forced back using the Path of Flame to get away. Cataclysm coming out. They're looking for Gold Fury is at 30%, 26% threshold. We Love Bacon gonna pick that one up. Now the question is what's gonna happen to these kills. Pivier will get knocked up as well as Nan with the Wrath of Terror in the back. Orbitrol is low. Archangel's gonna pick that one up. Freyan, though, is up in the air. Valkyrie's Discretion looking for the kill on the Stalker. Will she find it? Yes, she will. Archangel, though, in the back line of that fight, though, relative to Eternal Rally, finding an answer kill onto Nan. Now, it looks like they could look for some aggression on the Gek. He's behind enemy lines right now. Geb is on his way, but will he get there in time? That will be the question. Sylvanas has to be so careful right now. There's a Geb coming up from behind. Scylla across the wall. This could very well be a dead Geb. One more Crush. Stone Shield going to save him for the moment. I'm a Monster going to come out, not going to connect. Archangel on the left side does find that kill in the Kek. It looks like Geb will manage to roll out, get away from that one. Overall, a Gold Fury and 3 kills to the one of We Love Bacon, all going in favor of... No, We Love Bacon did get the Gold Fury, excuse me. Gold Fury and a kill going the way of We Love Bacon, but Eternal Rally found 3 kills to answer. Overall, though, We Love Bacon coming out ahead on the gold, a little bit behind on the experience side of things. Again, that whole level 20 high-level thing working against them right now. But those Archer minions, couple more volleys, and one more... No! The arrival of Geb says no, but Scylla shows up, jumps in, throws a Sentinel behind herself. One more attack, tower will fall. So that's the first tower, second, third tower of the game going to Eternal Rally, taking that mid lane tower down. It's a bit of a key one that it kind of opens up a little bit of the map a little more. You can kind of rotate a little more aggressively through the jungle. You don't have to worry about getting caught between towers, potentially. Pivier are going to rotate around, pick up these left side Harpies here, potentially. Have all 5 kills. It's quite possible that all 5 of the kills from Agni have been on Scylla. Quite a few of them have been, if nothing else. I can't specifically recall any other ones, but it's definitely on the table and a possibility. That said, everyone in this game so far, except for Pivier, has died at least once. He managed to escape death. 1, 0, and 10. Not too shabby. Actually, an almost highest kill participation. Agni is sitting at 12 kills, and Thor is actually at 14 kills. So Thor, highest kill participation in the game.
There is no escape.
He was actually, yeah, they killed the A-Shard here. Look at that Agni all the way up top. Geb right behind his heels with 6. Overall, We Love Bacon with more kills in the bank. Obviously going to have better kill-death assist ratios overall. So, overall, let's take a peek at some of these various graphs the game gives us right now. The items coming out, I don't see really anything unusual coming in line. Thor has gone for an early Magi's Blessing. There's a decent amount of crowd control coming out of Eternal Rally. You don't want to Tecton or Anvil Dawn into the middle of a fight and just kind of sit there like, yep, now I can't move. Crowd control, and I am dead. Let's take a look and say the damage. Looks like Ram and Zhang Kui right up to 3 damage differential right there. That said, We Love Bacon right behind on their heels, 13,000 damage between 4 members of the... No, let's try this again. 13,000 damage across... No, that's still not right. 13,000 damage on... whatever. A bunch of people doing 13,000 damage or more. There we go. It's like the 5th try was the charm right there. Yuri getting caught mid lane, though. Anvil of Dawn going up from Thor. He's going to likely look for that kill right there. He's going to find... Oh, not quite find it. Orbitrol going to pick up a Thunder Strike. Schultz in the back. Nan does get that kill. Majol's team of Berserker Barrage. Finding results in the back. Left side jungle. If the camera will free itself up. Cat and Arcangel going at it. Looks like the rotation coming over right now from We Love Bacon. They could possibly look for kill. Oh, the knockback getting hit up by rollout. Gotta be careful about that. You will look for that shockwave generate so you can block them in place, not knock them away from you. Just get things, ladies and gentlemen. It's like right now, We Love Bacon a little unsure what they want to do. They're kind of poking around a little bit and spread out. They should be grouping up a little bit more here, looking for some objectives. Gold Fury is off the table. That left tower is low. This middle inner tower is full health, but they could look to take it right now as there are 2 members of Eternal Rally currently dead. They have 10 seconds to work with right now. So there we go. We finally see the aggression come out. Suzuki going to blink forward with the Wrath of Terror. Find 2. They could look to counter engage right now. Rainfire coming down, doing some good damage onto Stalker. All said and done, though, they were able to defend that tower, so good play right now by Eternal Rally. And they could... Oh, Nature's Grass not going to quite connect. They're going to get out of that one. Or was that Keck or Orbitrol going to get out of that one safely? As Eternal Rally managed to save their tower. A little bit of indecision coming out of We Love Bacon, resulting in them kind of botching that little siege right there. They got half the tower down to half health. But if they had grouped up a little more quickly, could potentially have taken that out altogether. Whew. These games today, guys. I just saw something a little interesting too as far as items go. Chalk has actually opted to pick up a kin size early. Typically, you'll see melee, or not melee, of course, but just warriors in the mid lane, because they are all... They're all melee, for the most part. They're all physical damage dealers and nothing else. I don't think any of them are ranged gods, technically. Nevertheless. Nevertheless. Typically, you'll see them pick up a hide of an urchin as, like, their second or third item. He does have the Emerald Talisman in his boots. A Jotun's Wrath, actually a pretty common pickup also, as, like, a second item. But with that Heavy Hammer, it's a little, kind of like a little thing. Typically, maybe a Death Stole or something like that. Kinsides will be pretty nice. There's a lot of health being built up right now on the side of Eternal Rally. The Sovereignty and Bulwark of Hope built up on Sylvanas, the Warlock Sash and Hide of the Urchin on Zhang Kui. As well as just natural health scaling. At level 20, most gods have at least, I believe it's the lowest, I think it's like 1800 or so health is the lowest health, like maybe 1750 or so. You're still looking at 65 to 70 or so damage from Kinside's procs on anybody in the game at level 20. So it's never a terrible item overall. That number just gets a lot better if someone's building health. You get more extra damage out of it. Like a little... No, maybe not anything really out of the ordinary. Gabe just rolling around saying, I'm here, guys. I haven't died yet. Try and kill me. Come on, you can do it. No, you don't want to chase me? Aw, too bad. Rolling away safely into the jungle. Gonna head back to base. Pick up a couple more wards. Finish off his Winged Blade. Want to be immune to the slows coming out of the likes of Schultz and Ure, Arcanjo as well. Lots of slows on Eternal Rally all said and done. Like, I think the only way they could be more slows if his Stalker picks up like a Gem of Isolation. Immolation. The other thing that's like a Warlock Sash, Ethereal Staff, and applies slows while having some additional... Ooh, Banish comes out. Cat could look to contest this, but no, Eternal Rally gonna use that Breath of the Gods to secure that. That said, more important objectives happening across the map. Eternal Rally might have gotten himself out of position. Stormcrawl is coming down from shock as now Stalker's running amok with Recall Demons online. Eternal Rally managed to delay that Fire Giant attempt. Astral Barrage coming down from Rom now as well. Or Trolls low as well as Aimless. They're looking to pick up these kills. Aimless will find Uri right now. Still looking for kill with the Almond Monster. Will find it. They're looking for a second potentially. Not gonna find anybody. Maybe look for some mana camps. It's unfortunately not up. That's going to be a whiff on that second. I'm a monster. All said and done though, Eternal Rally finding 3 kills for 1. They could look to do Fire Giant themselves. It has been started up actually. Either Arcanjo did a lot of damage or they'd actually kept that up that whole time. Will they reset it? Will... No, oh, Schultzen still has it. Keck is still alive. Did find the kill into Arcanjo. Fire Giant has finally reset. Valkyrie's Discretion is up. Looking for kill into Schultzen. Aegis is out. Oh, Sentinel going to be used effectively to get out of that. Suzuki able to get off the blink timer. Is still up in this fight. Wisps potentially coming out. Aegis, you're stunned there from Freya. She can't tell. Can't actually see what actions people have when they have the cooldowns over them because it's too hard to read. Hi-rez, please. I posted a picture of how you could rearrange those things and actually be able to see the icon and see the cooldown timers without actually changing much. This is like this little empty space below them all. Use it! Please, Hi-rez, please. Nevertheless, We Love Bacon also managed to delay a Fire Giant attempt there by Eternal Rally. I believe that Fire Giant was actually held and kept active that entire time. They let it drop a little towards the end as things kind of started to get a little hairy for them. Nevertheless, we're currently 32 minutes, 30 seconds into this game. Eternal Rally sitting 11 kills behind the 21 of We Love Bacon. Looking at the gold and experience graph, though, still a little bit of an experience advantage in the way of We Love Bacon. But that gold graph tells a different story. We have had a back and forth game this entire time. One team has the lead, the other team has the lead. That level advantage we saw earlier that was pretty significant, some 2, 3, 4 levels at some point. Kind of gave We Love Bacon the advantage, but that gold difference, it's been a pretty close game. We really haven't got maybe like a 1.6k gold lead in the way of We Love Bacon, but overall this has been a pretty close game overall. And as kind of everyone starts to hit level 20, only support's still not. We have a really close game now, ladies and gentlemen. Items, we're getting up to that 4, 5, 6 item threshold. A couple starter items going to be getting sold off here soon. Scylla has 5 items completed. Rom is on 5 items. We can move the camera off the mid lane. We're sitting for no real reason. What else? Do we have any unusual items coming out anywhere? It doesn't look like it right now. Nemesis looking to pick up a Witchblade as her 5th item. Gonna, again, apply that attack speed slow as well as a physical power debuff aura. Magi's...
Run if you can.
Magi's Blessing? Magi's Blessing. Scylla's working towards a Magi's Blessing as well as her 5th item. I think I might have just said that. If I did, I apologize for that. I was looking for Spear of the Magus, was completed on Acne quite a while ago. Right up to Hootie's coming online on the side of We Love Bacon right now. Freya picked one of those up at some point, as well as Agni. That's going to be a lot of potential damage. Speaking of damage, looking over at that chart, Zhang Kui currently still sitting at the top of the chart. Agni right on his heels, though, as well as Freya. But Akanjo is right behind Freya. 300 damage. 300, what is it? Math hard. We'll go 300 damage. A 300 damage difference on your hunter role characters this early. Actually, Keck forced up to Valkyrie's discretion. Reinforcements are nearby. We could have a full-blown team fight break out. They weren't able to get the kill onto Keck. That was a beautiful Wrath of Terror right there. Found 4. But it looked like there wasn't a whole lot of follow from that Javier. It brought low. Stalker, Recall Demon's doing work. 3-man banish, though. Gonna deny a bunch of that damage as in the backline. Scylla finds the kill onto Aimless. Now in the front line, Berserker Barrage picking up a kill as well. Stalker, though, cleaning up. That's a triple as Geb, the only one left alive, he's gonna be not wanting nothing to do with this fight. Billy is on cooldown, low on health, to a very, very healthy 4-man squad from Eternal Rally right now. They're going to look for Phoenix, and given those respawn times, they will likely get it. If they can get a quick kill on the Pybia, the Titan would even be on the table. 33 seconds right now on the respawn for Freya. It looks like they're going to go for it, guys. This could be the game right here. 35 minutes in, Eternal Rally pulling the trigger on this potentially. Titan's around half health right now. Pybia trying to do what he can. Stalker is low. Titan's below half right now, around to about third health. Geb is low, he will fall. Minions approaching, still 10 seconds on Freya. The Titan will fall. Eternal Rally taking game 2 of the grand finals for the Supreme Deities tournament. It's going to be 1-for-1, guys, going into game 3. They do need 3 games to win, so we have at least 2 more coming up right now. We Love Bacon had a great early game presence, but a quick look at that map shows the ward situation in that right side jungle. Eternal Rally actually making good use of that and catching out Keck, and they did. They caught him out. They weren't able to burst him down. It looked kind of like the team fight had turned around there towards the end, or rather towards the beginning. It looked like they might have bitten off more than they can chew by not killing off Keck right away. But in the end, the AoE damage coming out victorious. Zhang Kui just going crazy Millified, finding that triple kill, coming out of it almost full health, I believe. Oh, here's the low one. They came out almost 4 members, mostly full health. The third member was sitting at about half health. Overall, great team fight at the end. Eternal Rally able to close the game out from behind. A little bit of a gold advantage, not a huge one towards the end, I believe, but nevertheless, looking at these item builds overall, the Polynomicon on Scylla so far has been working out reasonably well. As I mentioned earlier, you have to make sure you weave in those auto attacks properly just on the back of other abilities and other attacks just to make use of the proc on it. You do that properly, it's a lot of extra damage. It's in fact a lot more than if she had, say, rushed a Rod of Tahuti in its place. Yeah, her Crush would hit hard. Yeah, the I'm a Monster would hit hard. But it's like, oh, okay, I used I'm a Monster, and I used Crush, and Crush is on cooldown for another 10-15 seconds, or not that long, like 5, 6, 7 seconds. Just gonna sit here, throw a couple weak auto attacks. I'm a monster, I'm a little girl. Oh, hey, Crush is off cooldown, I can attack again. You do more damage overall with the Polynomicon, actually, said and done. But you don't somehow have that to be like 1-2 explosion of damage. 1, 2, 3 if you sick, I'm Crush, I'm a monster in the middle somewhere. So, taking a look at those damage charts. 4, 6, and 3, nothing to scoff at. Stalker coming out 5, 4, and 4. All said and done, Pybia couldn't make it out of there undefeated towards the end, trying valiantly to defend that Titan, did end up getting picked up right at the end. Last couple seconds of the game, did not quite make it to hold out. Zhang Kui actually still not doing a ton of damage, all said and done. 4th lowest damage on the team. So I was going to say, it seems to be working okay because the Eternal Rally keeps winning, but actually not a lot of damage coming out of her. So, yeah, I don't know. It's something to consider there, guys. Which way to go with that? Who knows? Oh, I will also mention Scylla did die quite a bit. 6 deaths, only less than Yurei. So, they died a lot more. They have less time to actually do damage in a fight. Zhang Kui, though, almost 25,000 damage. Arkanjo right behind him. Good numbers coming out of these guys. So without further ado, guys, we're going to go ahead and cut to another quick break. Set up for Game 3 of the Grand Finals. We'll be back here soon in just a moment. Enjoy the music.